Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and I'm here to hit you with a new great albums video where I go over the records that I was most impressed with in the month of October. And all of the links to reviews for these records are linked down below. I'm just kind of bringing them all together in one video to make sure they don't slip through the cracks on you guys and that you end up listening to them because I really recommend them because I really think they're good. All right. Let's kick it off with the album that I reviewed very positively most recently, the new Big K.R.I.T album, Forever is a Mighty Long Time. The Mississippi rapper, singer, songwriter, and producer is back with a huge double album. It is epic. It is ambitious. It features some of his best material to date. Amazing features and guest producers on this thing too. It's his widest and most varied and riskiest project yet. I really cannot say enough good things about it. Some of his most thoughtful tracks as well. I just love the flow of these two separate discs. I love how deep we get into K.R.I.T's personality on this thing, and just how he sort of elevates everything that I've loved about him in the past to a new level on this thing. Don't miss it. One of my favorite rap records of the year. All right, moving on from there, Primitive Man with their new record Caustic. This is an amazing, like, doom, noise, sludge, noise album that the hideousness of it, while it is kind of one-dimensional, it really just kind of envelops me and I soak in it, and it's gross, it's harsh, it's disgusting, it's beautiful, it's nihilistic, it's like a black, dark, endless, hateful abyss that in a funny way sums up my feelings on the year 2017 for the most part. And it's just fun for the whole family. I'll leave it at that. Moving on from there, the new Protomartyr album, Relatives in Descent. This is a fantastically well-written, performed, and put-together post-punk album with tons of poetic lyrics, dynamic instrumentals. This is the Protomartyr album that I personally have been waiting for. The instrumentation is so much better and more intricate and more complex than it's been in the past. The lyrics are as interesting and the vocal performances are as interesting and as sad and as glum and as sort of downtrodden as ever. This is easily the band's best project to date, and I'm hoping that the rock fans, I'm hoping that the post-punk fans are picking up on it because it really truly is that good. Also, Nick Cave fans should take notice as well because I think there's a bit of a crossover appeal here. Moving on from there, I really enjoy the new Colella album quite a bit. I wasn't really anticipating this record because I didn't enjoy her previous EP or her previous mixtape that much, but honestly, Colella came through with a smooth, boundary-pushing, and sort of cutting-edge take on 90s R&B with like all this futuristic production. The songwriting is very quality as well. The album is a bit lengthy and it does require quite a bit of patience from the listener because it is very subtle, it is very low-key, but it is a gorgeous album all the same. Highly recommended. Moving on from there, I really enjoy the new Uncommon NASA album, Written at Night, which is one of the dude's best projects yet, and I love the crazy written at night concept that flows through the album, which I'm not going to spoil here. You need to sort of hear it for yourself to kind of get it and appreciate it. But I will say Uncommon NASA is back in full force producing on this album with a bunch of clunky, dirty, lo-fi, off-kilter beats. His shouty sort of spoken word delivery is in full force as well and just as great as ever. And I just think that with those two things sounding as great as they've ever been, tying that into the fantastically executed concept on this thing. Add on to that, there's a lot of great guest features, and Uncommon NASA sort of guides all these collaborators through these tracks, making sure that they focus on the topic at hand on the song. So he's kind of playing director on this album a little bit here. And, all those factors added together sort of makes up for one of his best projects. Again, I will say that again, one of his best projects. And finally, I got to give a shout out to my dude, Igloo Ghost, for coming through with his full-length debut, or his new full-length album, Neō Wax Bloom, on Brainfeeder Records. It is just as cutting edge and as futuristic and as overwhelming and as insane and as off the wall as his previous EP. I would actually say a little bit more so. It is really, if I hadn't said it already, intense. Like it's really just like strap yourself in because you're going through hyperspace at a million miles an hour. With psychedelic colors flying by you in every direction. It's so much. It is so much. It is a lot to digest, but I highly recommend listening through it and sticking with it because it does kind of grow on you, and it does the bustling beats and the zany melodies and everything that is so maximal about this album kind of falls into place. The patterns become more apparent, and it sounds less like just a tangled mess and more like one of the most insane and detailed electronic compositions I've heard on a full-length record. And that's going to be it, I think, for this month.
Anthony, don't forget about Harvard graduate Lil Pump.
Oh yeah, Lil Pump. Musician, have you given these albums a listen? I hope you have, because I think they're very good. Give them a shot. Links, again, all down there in the description box. You guys are the best. I'm proud of you. Keep eating your fruits and veggies. Keep loving one another. Keep staying hydrated. Over here next to my head is another Great Albums video. You can click on that or click on the link to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Forever.